Hi, thanks for tuning in. I am Cecilia Manella, and I hop on here every single week and share some mental health tips and tricks. This month, we're focusing on the topic of heart. Now, we've all written blog posts about why we got into this field of counseling to begin with, and how does heart show up in that way. What I want to talk to you today about is how to use heart as a way to make decisions or be a guidepost in your life. We often rely on our minds. We talk about things being rational, or that we have to use kind of the upper level thinking, which is typically our brain. Now, there's so much value in being able to use your heart. Now, whether you want to place that actually where your heart actually is, or whether that's your gut or something that's inside of you, there is a relationship between your heart and your mind. And what the difference is that our mind can problem solve and goes through information. What it does, it's like, imagine that it's going through a catalog of some sort, or it's kind of like your own version of Google that's in your head. And the heart is something that's really different. A heart is really about where we sit when it comes to our intuition. When we talk about, following our gut instinct, it's where our experiences of feelings really sits. It's where we connect with compassion and empathy and care for another person. We can actually feel it in our body. It's a really somatic experience that exists within us. So there's power in being able to go between your mind and your heart, and to listen to both of these things, these two superpowers that you have access to in your life, in your mind, in thinking, and in being able to feel things. So you want to be able to think and to feel at the same time, which is your mind and your heart functioning together in many ways. Now, our heart really holds a lot of our experiences, but it holds feelings of those experiences. It can hold feelings of fear or excitement or happiness and contentment, or of being disappointed, all these things that exist in there. So when we listen to our heart, what that really means is we're connecting to our intuition about something that is informed by our experiences, and those experiences come with a ton of emotion. Now, emotion is a really great way to connect to decision making. Now, we often are told in culture and society to really focus on the irrational, right? And that somehow emotions are irrational, and our thought process, our brain, is actually the rational piece of it. But what if these things could actually work together? And what if bringing these two pieces together allows you to have the best of both worlds? Now, I know that that's the way to be true to yourself and to live a more fulfilling life, because sometimes our heart takes us in directions that maybe feel a little bit irrational at times, or it's not grounded in facts all the time, but it's just the feeling that we have, whether that's reaching out to someone in need, whether that's leaning into a relationship, whether that's doing something just purely out of compassion for another person. Our heart will lead the way in many ways in that direction. And there's a lot to be had in there. There's a lot of fulfillment that comes with that we can just function from that place and make decisions from that place that comes from this place of emotion, this place of connection in a relationship, but also connecting to ourselves. Our heart can be the source of inner connection, where we can find self-compassion, self-empathy, a way to honor your experiences and the feelings that come with that, and then reconnecting to that in a way that allows you to be authentic. So heart is not something to be pulled away from or ashamed of, or we're told, like, you're too emotional, or you need to be more rational, or you're, irrational. And it's important to question these things and to push back a little bit with curiosity and ask yourself, is this because I'm trying to really make a decision through my heart and I'm ignoring it? Or am I integrating my intuition and integrating my heart into this current situation, or the current problem that you're trying to solve, or how to lean into something? So your heart has a voice, our mind has a voice, and there's a lot of chitter chatter that happens in here quite a bit, which you, I'm sure, know about, but our heart also has a voice. The thing is that our chitter chatter in our mind can be really, really loud, and oftentimes it can be louder than the voice of our heart. Now, to connect to the voice of your heart, to hear it, you need some silence, you need some quiet time, you need to put down the social media, put down your phone, put down the digital devices. You can also grab a journal and you can connect your heart in that way, but oftentimes it requires a moment of deep breathing, usually in a very calm space, a quiet space, whether it's in nature or whether it's in a park or something that really brings you some groundedness and some calmness to really listen to what your heart has to say. And you simply just have to ask some questions, for it to answer. The answers will show up. That intuitive piece of you will always show up. It's just that it gets drowned out by all the noise that we are around. And there's lots of noise around us, a lot of white noise. Take some time, create some space, some quiet time, connect to your heart. Ask your heart what it actually wants to tell you about the situation, about your life, or what it needs. And it will tell you that inner voice, that intuitive voice is going to show up. Trust me, connecting to your heart is the best thing you can do for yourself. And if you have your mind and your heart working together as teammates, it's pretty much the most powerful thing you can do. So I wish you well in connecting with your heart, and I hope that you take some notes around what your heart is actually telling you.